Welcome to our practice, where you are not in the camera, I swear. You're really out of it. This week, so the second week of our back love for the month, more in the mid back this week. So above your tailbone, but below your shoulder blades, just in that area. Lots of stretching between that bottom two ribs and your hip. We've got dancer and, oh, I forget, but I know it's fish. We've got dancer, fish, and camel, and little crow. Oh, you want to do it? Baby crow? No. Okay, baby crow. Who said that? There's one other standing who knows that we're going to say that. Let me just have a quick look, just so you're prepared. Oh, bird of paradise. Oh, you know. So that's why you need the strap. So if you don't have a strap, make sure you grab one. Straps are right up. Is there one left? If not, all right. All right, so let's start in our seated position and take our hands, thumbs forward, fingers back, kind of to where our mid back is. There we go. Close our eyes and start to take some big, deep breaths and try to breathe right down into the base and the back of your lungs. Feel with your hands how that part of your body expands, and then slowly bring that air back up and out. Inhaling, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. Continuing to breathe at your own pace. And as we hang on to this part of our body, acknowledging that we're going to take care of our middle back today, hopefully throughout your whole week, honoring this part, any injuries or limitations. Send it some love. We'll start with our seated warm-up. Inhale, reaching our arms up towards the sun, and then tipping over to one side. You can choose whichever one you want. All the way back up, two hands, and then tip over to the other side. Two hands up, and we'll twist over to most likely your left. Reach up and breathe in, and twist over to the other side. Reach up, breathe in, bring your hands back behind you, and then a gentle bow forward. You can have your hands at your heart, sorry if that doesn't feel good. And we'll bring it all the way back up, inhale. Let's tip over to our right this time. Up we go, inhaling, lengthening, and then exhaling, tipping over. We lengthen again and twist. Lengthen and twist. Hands come back behind us, breathing in. And a little dive forward. You can bring your hands to your heart if that feels better. One more time for our warm-up, sweeping up. Tip to our left. All the way back up, two hands, and then one hand down. Up we go, twist it around. Up we go and twist it to the other side. Bring the hands back behind us, open up our hearts. And then a little bow forward if that feels nice for you. Wonderful. Let's come all the way up, inhale. Lengthen through our spine, and we'll take that tip over and bring our left hand down to the mat. If you want to, bring the forearm right down to the mat. It's okay if your backside lifts up a little bit. Or the block is really helpful here as well. Feel that stretch between your bottom rib and your hip on your right side. Rise up to the other side. You can use your block and bring forearm to the mat. It's okay if your backside lifts a little. Feel that extension. We'll bring our hands to our knees and do a few cat and cows here, seated. Wow, my knee just cracked. That's so weird. Last one, and we'll move right onto all fours for our cat and cow on all fours. Take your time getting there. We'll move to our cat and cow, and if anyone wants a little more activation for your quads this morning, we'll lift our knees and move through cat and cow. Slow it down and move with your breath. Opening up on the inhale, and drawing the belly button towards the spine and separating the shoulder blades in your cat pose. Letting go of your day and any judgment today. One more. On our next exhale, floating back to child's pose. And adding in that flow now, all fours. Inhale. Exhale, child's pose. A few more of those. And when you're ready, you can begin to turn that into a kneeling plank. So we're shifting that weight slightly forward and then going back. The core catching us from falling forward. And if you would like to be moving up into downward dog now, you can move up into downward dog and then come into a full or kneeling plank as you flow through. Do what feels right in this moment. A couple more. And then we'll meet in a kneeling plank just to check in with our alignment on our elbows to protect our shoulders in down dog and all these poses like plank. The creases of our elbows slightly forward. So it's just a little rotation and the elbows, the actual elbows are kind of pointing back towards your knees. So while your fingertips still towards the front of your mat or somewhere around there, just something that feels good and secure in your shoulder blades. And the shoulder blades are slightly together at the back. Wonderful. Let's go right to our bellies. Breathe out. Inhale into our cobra. And we'll do some cobras up and down. We can use cup hands, no hands, or your full hands if your back feels like it right now. Our elbows are still pointing back towards the back edge of our mat. Think of shining the heart through. We're warming up our back really well. Let's push it all the way up to a kneeling or full plank. Child's pose, exhale. Inhale to all fours and reach our right arm up. And we'll start with some flowing through the thread the needle, come down and then up. Inhale up, exhale, sweep through. It's a great workout for your right tricep as well. As you lift and lower yourself with this right arm bending. Last one, and we'll hold it down, shoulder across, and take our right hand to our back. Yes, whatever, you guys got it, you're right. Left.
I saw you trying to freak out.
You guys are great. I'm so sorry. We'll place that left hand on the mat in front of our face, press up. And start our flow on the other side. So reaching this left, sweeping it through. We've got our hips on top of our knees. Our core is still engaged. And on this one, we'll hold it down. And place our our right hands on your lower back. And your lower back is relatively flat still. Or your mid back if your arm wants to reach up that high. There's no weight in our head, it's down in our shoulder. We'll use our right hand to press us back up. Beautifully done, downward dog or child's pose. We'll paddle our feet a few times or massage our forehead down on the mat in child's pose. Looking up between the hands now. Placing the left foot up between the hands. Coming down into a kneeling plank, please. And instead of shifting forward, we're having our hip right on top of our knee. And then our arm is reaching up, right arm. And draw this foot back a little bit. Breathe. We feel this stretch in our hip flexor in a different way than normal. We can keep our left hand on our left knee and bring our right hand to the mat. And twist towards our knee now, or reach that arm up. The hand comes back to the knee. Let's Slip that arm back up again. And we'll switch feet. Bringing the right foot up. So it's a shorter version than we normally do. Normally we let our foot way out. This time it's right underneath and that hip's underneath. Left arm reaching. Close our eyes. Start to notice our front foot, our back knee, our back foot, the connections to the earth. And we'll bring our left hand down to the mat or block, right hand to knee or reaching up for that twist. Still anchoring through your front foot. Feel a stretch in your right glutes. Making our way to downward facing dog or child's pose. We'll flow now between downward facing dog right into up dog. So inhaling into up dog, you turn your feet, open up into up dog, turn the feet, lift the tail back. All on your own, flowing through. If up dog doesn't feel good, child's pose into cobra with the hips down. So flowing still on your own. And if you notice that you're always turning the same foot first, try to turn the other foot first when you flip your feet. Always going first, left, right. Try to switch it up next time and turn the right, left. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Take your time, or on all fours if you're honoring your wrists today. Bringing our left hand across to our right calf. If you're modifying today, drop down and reach across for the knee. A little twist. Let's switch sides, either downward facing dog with our reach across to the calf or the knee or the leg, just any kind of twist. All the way back to a regular downward facing dog. We'll be looking up between the hands and walk, stepping, or jumping up between them. Halfway lift, breathe in, fold, breathe out. A few more of those. Breathing in, coming up, breathing out, relaxing. A little bend in our knees as we move through a few more. Last one. Inhale into chair pose. And exhale, let's take our left foot back. Turn right into our moonflowers. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, come down. So, you can touch your elbows right down to your knees, or you can honor your knees today by not going down so far and focusing on form, tracking the knees out towards the feet. Turning that into our sunflowers as we move through this warm up for our hips. Being mindful to bend our knees when we reach for the mat. Meeting in goddess pose, knees bent, elbows high. Bring our hands back behind our head, open up across our chest. Check in with our knees. If we were to gaze down the inner thigh, you'd be able to see your big toe. Somewhere around there. Our hands will come to our inner knees. We'll reach down. So as we're pushing into our knees are pushing back into our hands, and we'll drop our right shoulder. Honor the breath. Other side, push into the knee, but the knee pushes back. Forward fold, let's turn our toes, or long forward fold, toes towards the front window. Let the head hang. Settle in here. Take a moment to notice your hamstrings, how they're feeling at this point of the class. Without judgment, just notice. Right, we'll look over at our right toes, turn them back towards the top of our mat, frame them with our hands, lift our back foot, forward fold, breathing out. Halfway lift, breathe in, fold, breathe out. Sweeping all the way up, hands come back behind our head again today, and we'll tip over to one side. Feel that nice stretch, a soft knee. And close your eyes, inhale, lengthen again, tip over. Back up, extended mountain, breathe in. We'll grab our right wrist and tip over. And all the way to the other side, nice and quick through those ones. Time for sun salutations. So we'll do 2 on our knees, 2 up off our knees, or you don't have to do knees if you don't want to. And then we'll do an option to do our jump back one, which you could do the other version as well, because that's how we're doing things now in this class. We've added in sun salutations B. We're progressing. All right, up to the tops of our mats. All right, big breath up, inhale. Exhale, dive into your fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Bending our knees, right foot back. Your knee can go down for this one or stay up. Find your lunge. Back to downward dog or child's pose. Holding here or flowing. Forward plank, all the way or halfway. Up dog or cobra. Girls know this one. Meet your way back to child's or downward dog. Left foot between the hands. Take your time. Rise to lunge. And push to forward fold. Anchoring through our back foot. Halfway lift. Fold. Sweep up. Exhale to a chair pose. Choose your arms all the way back up. And we'll meet in mountain. And another one with that option for your knees. Sweep up. Dive forward. Halfway lift. Fold again. Left foot back. Rise to lunge. Knee up or down. Our back heels high. Downward dog or child's pose. Flow or hold. Forward. Feet in your downward dog. Right foot up between the hands. Rise to your lunge. Great work. Forward fold. Exhale. Halfway lift. Fold again. Sweep all the way up. Feel how strong you're anchored to the ground. Chair pose. Back up. Breathe in. Meet in our mountain. So now we'll have that option. Breathe in. Reach up. Exhale. Dive. Halfway lift. Now you can hop, step, or jump back to chaturanga or step back to plank. Hold your plank or flow into an up dog and down dog. So we're looking up between the hands, our left foot coming up between the hands. One lunge, and that'll take us right back to plank or chaturanga. Breathe out. Hold or flow, up dog, down dog. Amazing work. Right foot up between the hands, one lunge. Right back to chaturanga or plank. Hold or flow. Meet in downward dog. Walk, step, or jump up between the hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Breathe out. Chair, breathe in. Exhale, mountain. One more, just like that. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift. Hop, step, or jump back to plank or chaturanga. Hold or flow. So you can hold your plank or go into up dog. Meeting in down dog. Left foot between the hands. We do one lunge and right back to chaturanga or plank. Hold or flow. Amazing, guys. Great work. Right foot between the hands. One lunge. Right back to chaturanga or plank. Hold or flow. Amazing. Meeting in downward dog. Hop, step, or jump. Breathe in And fold. Chair pose, we did. Exhale to mountain. Amazing job. Good job on your Sun Salutations. Perfect time with the song too. I'm going to turn that fan on. There we go. A little bit of fan. There's one in the back corner. There's one over there. All right, time to get into the meat of our practice, the strength portion of our practice. Our right foot will go up to the top of our mat. We're going into a runner's lunge, left knee down. Gazing in front of that front foot. Dropping our left hip towards the mat. We're lengthening our neck, looking at the floor in front of our toe. Breathe. Let's lift that knee up now, but keep our hands on the mat if possible, or on blocks. We'll take our left heel down to the mat. Our right hand can stay on the block or the floor, and our left arm rises up. Or bring it up onto your elbow like me. So side angle with elbow on knee or hand on floor block. Breathe. Now our right hand will go all the way up to the sky for reverse warrior. Sinking into our legs, still bending our right knee. And for today, grabbing our right hand with our left, adding a little pull. Still sinking into the support of the legs. Continuing to press into both of our feet. Back into that side angle, and I would recommend grabbing your strap for your left hand. I'm going to turn. I'll use this for strap actually. Okay. So we're in our side angle again with our strap. Back. And try to drop it kind of in front of this leg. Turn the music off for you. So in our right hand then? It's in your left hand. Right? What foot do you have forward? Right foot? Yeah. Yeah. Straps in our back hand, our top left hand. Yeah, right knee is bent. I know I'm doing the opposite. That's just how I roll. I like to confuse myself. So
I'm still trying to find my talk.
I know. Yeah. I'm the same way. So we're holding this strap with the back of your left hand on your back. Your right knee is bent. Your right hand now can go down. The thumb, the palm turns that way. And then you reach for your strap. And you're trying to bring your hands as close as you can together back there. Or maybe you can get your hands, I don't know if I can. Get your hands together back there. So you can stay here, that's a bind. So we don't want to have our straps in our butts. We want to be under, I know our legs are feeling the burn. They don't want to be under your butts, under your leg. Now we take our back left foot up to the right foot. Walk it up. Just do whatever feels good. And now we're working towards lifting our right heel off the mat. What leg am I supposed to have this strap on? The right one? It should be under your right thigh. And now you can try to lift up with or without your strap. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Very close. All right.
Knee supposed to be
open. So we can, if you don't want to use the strap, just bring your right hand to the inside of your right thigh. I'll show it this way. And your other hand goes back behind you. So that's what we're trying to get that. That's where the strap should be. Yeah. There we go. And then once you get there, we're working towards bending and straightening our leg. Bird of paradise. Yes, great job. Yeah, and then just try that straight. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's do dancer, and then we'll do that same flow and end with paradise. Not paradise, but paradise and our dancer on the other side. So if you're gonna do your dancer today, let's put it on your right foot, your strap, but you don't have to do a strap. We could just reach back today with both of our hands, or you can do the reach like we learned last week, like this. Strap on your right foot or hand around your foot. So your strap would go back behind you and around, yeah, in your left hand if you're using a strap today. Now, this can be great. Enjoy this lovely quad stretch right now, or start your hinge. Keep that knee in line, our hips facing forward. And you can walk your hands, both hands down your strap. Or for today, try to reach back with your hand for your foot. So we're trying to get both of our hands in this way without that bend in our elbow. Which, I think, yeah, great progress. And then we release. Oh. It is hard, yeah, because once you're hanging on with both hands, you're kind of like at the mercy of balance.
Looking at it thinking, oh, I should like that in case I go.
Let's flow, and we'll do that sequence on the same side. Big breath up, dive and fold. Oh, the music went off. Halfway lift, inhale, fold again. Hop, step, or jump back to plank. You can hold your plank or go through a chaturanga and an up dog or a cobra, and then wherever you are, just meeting back in downward facing dog. Great work. Looking up between the hands, but this time our left foot coming up between the hands. We go into that kneeling lunge first. Right knee down, hips shifting forward, proud across the chest. So now that you know what's coming, maybe you want to put blocks under your hands. And then we lift up our kneecap. Feel the difference there. And then left right foot, left right goes onto the mat, and your right arm reaches up for our side angle. Or you can put your left elbow on your left knee instead. If that feels super uncomfortable, left knee, left elbow. All right, just gonna see what's going on with the music. Your strap can go into your top hand. And you drop it down back behind you, or you try to grab your hands together back there. No music, sorry about that. Okay. So we've got that strap here with those hands on the back, or no strap. The other hand reaches through, and we're trying to grab our hand or our strap. So we want our block, our strap underneath your front leg. So not underneath your butt, and then you try to lift up. Great work. So if you haven't brought your back foot closer to your front foot, you'll want to do that before you try to lift it up. So bring it forward, lift, and then come up. And then you can try to bend and straighten. I know it's a lot, and we're going to work on these poses a lot. If anything, we're strengthening that knee up with that bend and straighten. All right, dancers. Great job, Ruta. Hand on your left foot, or you've got a strap around your left foot. Use the wall, support. We can work towards hinging or just holding. If you want to just focus on balance, stay up. Stay here, or have your strap reaching this way, or reaching both of our hands back. So things get a little wobbly, but that's okay. The core is still engaged and strong. Wonderful job. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, we'll breathe in. Fold, breathe out again. Hop, step, or jump back to your plank pose. Hold, flow. Hold or flow. wherever you are, we're going to be meeting back in our downward dog. So take your time getting there. And check in with your downward dog. Is there a bend in your knees? Are your heels reaching for the mat? Well, they don't have to touch. It's actually sometimes better they don't touch so that you don't hyperextend your knees. Are you pressing equally into your hands and your feet? Amazing. Hop, step, or jump back up to your forward fold. Take your time getting there. Excellent job, everybody. Those are big flows. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, breathe out. Sweep all the way up. Let's grab our elbows, take a little tip over, stretch our rib cage out again. And then all the way over to the other side. And release. Good job. Now, for some reason, the music isn't working, but I won't let that give me stress today. Okay, we're gonna go right down onto our mat, get into our camel. So take your time getting there. So what I would recommend today, if you're like me and it doesn't feel really good to bend back, this is gonna block high between your feet. And that can be what you reach for instead of reaching for your feet. We'll start with our hands, one arm up, straight up, right arm up, and left hand reaching back. For either your left heel or the block. You put it on the side too if it feels like you're bending up too much. Our hips are shifting forward. We can look up at that hand if that feels okay. Awesome. And we'll switch sides. You might want to anchor your low back, lift up, and reach back either for your heel or your block. Bring it on up. Let's take our hands back behind our head. Keep our hips on top of our knees. We don't want to sit back on our heels. Those hips stay forward and lean back, supporting your neck. Work. Straighten out again. Bring the hands to the lower back. Draw the elbows towards each other. So you can have a full support or you can have your fists. The hips push forward a little bit. And again, I like to look just up or in front of me to keep my neck where I can swallow comfortably. Good work. Straighten it out again. And now we'll have that option for full camel. If your feet are fine where they are, fantastic. Or put the feet on the mat. It kind of lifts them a little bit closer to your to where you can reach as well. And we'll reach back. Let's start with our right arm going up, back, and that left arm up and back. We meet in our camel, or we've got a block or something instead. Shifting the hips forward, just looking either towards our chest or the ceiling. Oh, good job, guys. Take it back to child's pose. I know that was a long sequence, but you're back. Take it back. We're going to rest there for a few breaths. Feel some relaxation spreading over your low back. Let your body melt right down. Wonderful. We're moving into rabbit. We can reach our hands back for our heels.
I'm done with these animals.
I know. Rabbits are cute. Rabbits are cute. They're better than birds in paradise. So we reach back for our heels and try to lift our bellies up or our hips up off our heels as we're holding onto our heels. So you should feel that stretch in between the shoulder blades as you draw your belly button up to your spine. It's a really good one. Holding here, a few more breaths. Great job. Send it back to child's pose. Inhale to all fours. Exhale to cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, tabletop. So that's just a flat back. We'll do it again. Inhale into cow this time. Exhale, cat. Inhale, tabletop. Flat back, belly strong. Shift it back to child's pose. Wonderful work. Okay, we're moving on to our crows, our baby crows, our full crows, or our tortoise pose as an option. Okay, so we can start with that first layer of opening up our hips, and that'll be tortoise or turtle, where we just start to create that muscle memory of squeezing our inner knee, thigh area, onto your tricep. So we're trying to squeeze it and just notice that feeling. So that's the feeling that happens in crow pose. And the core is engaged, jawed up. Awesome. So if you are taking care of your wrists today for crow, roll onto your back and you'll do an upside down crow like this. So the floor is the air instead. Otherwise, meet me in garland pose or stay in your tortoise. That's not an animal. Okay. Are you sure? It's garlands. It's a Christmas decoration, I think. All right, so we could stay here. If you've got two blocks, you might want one for your head in front and one for your toes at the back. I'll show a few options. If you've never done crow before, then just be gentle with yourself. Let's start with our squeeze on the backs of our arms. And we're looking forward in front of our hands. And if you want to, you can lift up your hips and come onto your toes and still look forward in front of your hands and then shift back. Coming forward, drawing it up more of a cat back, looking forward and back. And if you want to move into your crow, you can. Or if you're working on lifting your feet, you step one foot or both onto that block so that it kind of lifts you up and you have to catch yourself. And if crow is a regular part of your practice, you can try that now. Just make sure you've got your face catcher. Or you could just start by tapping your forehead down and sitting back. Wonderful. Let's take a little break. Forward fold. Turn the toes back towards the top of your mat. Bend your right knee. Bring your right hand to the mat or the block and reach your left arm up. Great job. All the way to the other side, bending the left knee. Left hand down or on a block and reaching that other arm up. Beautifully done. And let's work on our baby crow. Same as regular crow, only it's on your forearm. So you're just a tiny little bit off the mat. So forearms go down. You're looking forward and lifting. So even your nose is kind of even touching the mat. Okay, right? It's about having fun, playing around.
Can't get my arms.
Arms, yeah, I know, right? It's
so your knees are up by your armpits?
Yeah, in that one they are a little bit higher up. And so instead of right on the elbows, they're higher up. Oh, my toes are stuck.
Like they're underneath your armpit.
So see where my knee is on the back of my arm? It's a little bit different. Yeah, great job. Baby crows, big grown-up crows. Amazing, awesome. Bird down, bird down. Okay, let's right into an opposite of that, our boat pose. So if you'd like to use a block for your boat pose today, we can bring it between our thighs in some manner that feels nice. If it doesn't, then don't do it. We'll be either holding on to the backs of our legs or reaching long. Bend and straighten whilst we squeeze our block. if you want to. Straighten both legs, squeezing the block. Ooh-wee. Find your breath. Okay, if you're shaking, that's normal. Bend the knees. Hands come back behind us. If you're taking care of your wrists, roll onto your back for bridge or come up into tabletop with the block. Opening up across the chest. Great job. Or you go back onto your knees and your shoulders. Your hands could be facing your backside or your heels, or they could be out east to west. And let those hips come down. Amazing job. Take that block out. We'll do a few deeper stretches. But before I do that, while I have your attention, I wanted to, if you're at home, want to practice your pro without worrying about hitting yourself, just do this one. Here we squeeze and then lift up your tailbone and your shoulders. And that'll start to create that memory. Okay, let's do a stretch. And then we'll do some side planks. Right knee bent, left foot long. This is my favorite stretch for the mid part of your back. And then your left hand will be reaching either towards the outside of your foot or leg, or the inside thumb down, or a strap around your foot. Our oblique is going towards our thigh. So that keeps us from, we're not going forward. We're going to the side and our right arm reaching up, or you can tuck it back behind your back or reach for your big toe. So we're reaching for that big toe and still trying to look underneath our arm. This should feel pretty great for the middle part of the right side of your back. Amazing, just a breath or two more. Settle into it. Engage the core muscles and then lift the body back up. So that should have felt really good right here. Other side. Tuck our left foot in, taking care of your knee, prop it up with the block. Your right hand reaching for the outside of your foot or leg or the inside with our thumb down. Open up and take the oblique towards the thigh or reach. So probably one side you can reach pretty great, other side might feel a little less. That's normal too. Just with each exhalation, think of your body going a little bit deeper. It doesn't have to actually physically go, but just even picturing, visualizing. I'll start to sing. All the way up. Great job. So I gave your wrists a little break to prepare you for a plank, side plank, and wild thing. So before we get into it, I'll show you. We're going to do a plank, fuller kneeling, a side plank, and then top foot will go back, and you'll reach for your wild thing, which also I don't think is an animal. So your plank, it's a type of wood. It's a wild thing, yeah. So finding your planks, either your full plank or you could be having a kneeling plank. We'll start. You can hold your plank or hold a forearm plank. And we'll turn so that the outside of our right foot goes onto the mat and the inside of our left foot goes onto the mat, left arm up. And then you can stack your left foot.
Yes, you did it the other way.
Oh, well. Whichever side you do, just do the other one next. So stack your top foot on top of your bottom foot. And then take the top foot back behind you. Press the foot into the mat and reach towards me with your hand. Yeah, wild things. And go back to plank. And we'll do the other side so you can stay in your plank or move onto that side plank. And then stack your top foot on top of the bottom. And then that top foot will step back. You'll lift, press into both feet, and reach long towards me. Wild thing. Exhale, come back to your plank. Take a break, my friends. Go to child's pose. Maybe a wide leg child's pose if you want a little more Stretch. Great work. You know what's funny? It says my music is playing somewhere in this building. I have no idea who's listening to our music right now. Someone's got Bluetooth on or something. All right, we'll go right to our bellies. Grab your block in your hand as we come down to our bellies. Okay. So a little bit of fun with locust. If you don't have a block, you don't have to use it. We're just going to use it to pass back behind us. So it could be anything really. So our kneecaps are facing the mat, the tops of our feet facing the mat. And if you'd like to, you'll lift your kneecaps up and maybe the top of your thighs. Our block will come forward. And if you'd like to, you'll lift it up. The block will go into your left hand, and then we'll open both of our arms up wide. Then we'll pass it behind us to our other hand. Open it up wide again, and bring it forward. Bring it down. We'll do that again. Rock your hips side to side, release the tension in your backside. And then we'll come up again, rise up. And this time the right hand is got the block. Pass it back, open up, bring it back, and release. Ooh, rock side to side. This time, our chest is coming up. Our hands are reaching back. We're pressing our right foot into the mat and lifting our left leg. Looking strongly in the mat in front of us, nice long neck. Breathe. Switch legs. Always feel that length in your back. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Wonderful. Right hand will come right around in front of us, all the way across, and our left hand the other way for a shoulder stretch. So not much about this one. We're just stretching our shoulders. We'll be there for 5 more breaths and then switching. Take a little time. I need some tea. Turmeric tangerine this morning. Switch sides on your arms. Great job. All right, we'll unravel our little knot we've made of ourselves. So press our hands down into the mat, making our way to a seated position. Lovely, big breath up and a hinge forward. Stretch out the back. And have a block under your forehead if you like to. Just noticing our forward folds, our toes are pointing up. Length down the backs of our legs. We can feel the stretch because that's what it's about. Feeling and just being present in your body rather than what you think we should be looking like in these poses. Wonderful. All right, we're gonna roll right back onto our backs. Take it on back to go into either legs up the wall, shoulder stand, where we lift our hips up. And only if your neck is very healthy will you bring your feet back for plow pose. So that's a big neck bend and pressure on your neck. So if it doesn't feel good, our legs up the wall or shoulder stand. In our shoulder stand, we're drawing our elbows towards each other at the back. Amazing job. And we'll all make our way to legs up the wall. So take your time. Now we plant the back on the mat, bring our hands back to our bellies or the earth, and notice the breath. We can bring our hands up as well today. Tuck our thumbs in and do some wrist rotations. One way and then the other. Clasp our hands together, maybe our forearms, and do some more wrist movements. Really anything to loosen up our wrists. Did a lot of work on them today. All right. Bending our right knee, then our left, and taking our right ankle on our left knee. So figure 4 or supine pigeon, it's known by many names. You can stay here or reach your hands for the back of your left leg. So one hand, your right hand is reaching through the window of your legs and the other hand's coming around the outside. You can pull towards you a little bit. You can anchor out your knees slightly with your right elbow, keeping our feet strong and flexed. Yeah. So the opposite of pointed, flexing. Let the jaw tension go. Any lists that you're going over in your mind? Not time yet. Let's switch. Figure 4, supine pigeon on the other side. See how that hip feels compared to the other. No judging, of course. Amazing. Just one twist on either side, and then we'll be moving into our Shavasana. So let's extend that right leg and bring your left knee across the body for your twist. Roll right over onto your hip. We'll put a block underneath your knee. Anchor through the shoulder blades again. Release. Take a moment to unwind. This twist is really good for digestion. Bringing out. And then switching sides. Take your time, about 10 or 15 breaths on that other side before we hit our Shavasana. Where, yeah, they're like, oh, what a great playlist. Now it's steal it again. Okay, lovely work. Let's make our way into Shavasana, unless there's another pose that you'd like to add on, if there's something you're working on. Any other more inversions, happy baby. Close your eyes and settle in. Jen, do you want an eye cover? Does anyone want an eye cover? Yeah. Speaking order. Yeah, I got more in the back. There might, I don't know if there's that one color you like. But, oh, I'll take that. What color is it? There's a little basket by the back. Does anyone want one of these purple ones? Your eyes are closed, you can't see it anyway. Sounds good. Okay, ladies, settle in. Start to let the body. You worked exceptionally hard today in your yoga practice. Thank you. Your body thanks you. Your cardiovascular health also thanks you. Everything thanks you. Now it's time to let go of the tension in the muscles. Give them a little break now. They've worked really hard. Start to notice the face relaxing. The jaw. Making your body as comfortable as possible today. Our arms can be down by our sides if that feels okay. Let's put our palms up if they are. Legs relaxed. If it feels better for your hands to be on your belly, of course, that's an option. Feel your body let go. And allow the floor to support your body, the earth. Let's move our head side to side and then come to stillness. Inhale. And as you exhale, release your physical body down into the floor. In your mind's eye today, imagine that you are walking down a path through a beautiful field. The grass is tall and the earth is soft. There are wildflowers in the field, the temperature is warm, and you watch as the breeze bends the tall grass. As you are walking, you notice that the path splits up ahead. One side continues to wind through the field, and the other leads to a beautiful old growth forest. You decide to take the path to the forest. You've never seen trees as tall before. They provide shade as you walk, but the light from the sun still shines through. The terrain is more varied here, so you watch your footing. But the varied landscape is captivating and filled with little surprises. You smell the bright purple flowers that line the path and hear water as you pass the stream. There's a turtle on a rock that sticks its head out and seems to smile at you. You feel a sense of joy and wonder at the beauty of nature. You see a clearing ahead with a large ancient tree in the center. You decide to take a rest and sit on the soft green moss beneath the tree. You lean against this tree and close your eyes, lulled by the bird song from the branches above. As you're resting peacefully, you sense that there is another loving presence in the clearing. Without fear, you open your eyes and see a being at the edge of the clearing. You immediately feel the love and light that is flowing towards you. You feel an enduring connection with this being who has been with you always. You breathe and gratefully receive the blessings. After some time, you see that the being is dissolving into energy and flowing towards you. You absorb this loving energy into your heart and realize that the energy is actually a part of you. This being is your own inner wisdom. You stay here and breathe, feeling a newfound strength, wisdom, and wholeness. Slowly stand up and place a hand on the tree, thanking the tree for its support. With awe and humility, head back up the trail from where you came. Happy you found this place today, and knowing that you can come back anytime. Take your time to awaken up your hands and your feet, our necks. Move our head side to side. And when you're ready, rolling over onto one side, no rush whatsoever. until you can make your way up to an easy seated position. Take your time, of course. Big breath up once we get there and bring our hands back to the middle part of our back. Open up across our chests. A little bow forward. Thank you so much. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, wherever it may be. And I'll see you next week or at another class this week. Come try Pilates with me. I'm doing it.
Exactly.
I can Zoom it for you for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to try it before.
Okay, before you try it.
Because somebody should.
She's gonna do the first like few months, or maybe we'll say they're gonna be foundations, just the building blocks beginner of Pilates.
Do you want these folded up or do you have to spray them?
I'm gonna spray them down, so you can just leave them.
Leave them unwound?
Yeah. Or wound. Did you use that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just throw it in that little bucket underneath the chair. Area. Yes, thank you. Lock the door for the ladies. Oh, say goodbye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube.